Good morning. I had to turn this on quick. You guys are gonna laugh. I got a tiger by the tail. This poor fella doesn't know what's going on. He must have been. He took off. He's like, ah! Bad man, poke me. Oh my God, that was funny. I was dying laughing. I just assumed it was a small walleye. I had just whacked it. I was right at the side of the boat, and I'm sitting there like this. I jigged it a couple times, and about the third time up, it went crazy, and although sunfish do hit it like that anyway, and they really zip around. All of a sudden, I see him, and he's coming up, and he's tail first out of the water, and I'm like, oh, sorry, buddy. Oh, that made me laugh. That made me laugh, and I wanted to share it with you guys. See you later. All right, nothing else on that drift, so I'm going to make a jog and make another drift. There's fish in the West End. Where and when you run into them, you can spend all day driving around looking on your electronics, and some days you just can't quite hone in on them. Other days you just start covering water. They're here somewhere. And this time of year, there's smallmouth, there's walleyes, there's perch galore. And then you toss in the sunfish, which roam around in ravenous schools. So what I'm doing here is the wind's coming from the southwest. So you're going southwest to northeast on the drift like this. So the west end sits, so let's say the west end's like this, and the drift is now going across it like this. So then I'm jogging like a saw blade tooth. It goes like this and then down and then like this and down. So I'm coming downwind, and now I'm going back up, but farther down this way, and then it'll drift me out. And so I'm covering water while covering water. Literally, you're sweeping down. If you were in the river like a steelhead fisherman, you start at the head of the pool and you fish your way down, covering that water all the way, theoretically, like sweeping it to see where that fish is. And you do that in each cast is a semicircle. It's the same way when you're drifting and you're casting. You're just covering water, and you're using baits that typically you can fish a little faster. I'm fishing a blade bait. You could do that thing. You could do that fast, covering water stuff with a blade, with jigging minnow type, like a shiver minnow or a jigging wrap. You could do it with a jigging spoon, like a slab spoon, or a cast master, a hair jig. The list is endless of what you could do with it, but it's fast. It hits the bottom, jig it back up. Hits the bottom, or some days hits the bottom, count to 2 or 3. Although my attention span's tough to get me to 3. It's tough to get me to 1. As soon as it hits, I jig it. I can't stand the anticipation. They gotta do what I want them to do, which some days probably doesn't work, obviously. It's funny I say it like that. That's a truth. That's an undeniable truth in what we do. You can't know what mood they're in until you try something and it either works or doesn't work. And there's no way of knowing in advance until you present something to them and see if they go, I must have it, I don't know. All right, I'm back into 15 foot of water. When we ended, I was in 19, so I'm going to come into 15. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to come all the way in until I hit the weed edge. So I'm now heading south towards the south shore, and I'm pretty quick on my graph. You'll see stalks of weeds. Boom, stop, turn around, and drift out of there. Now you go all the way out that plane. So the weed edge stops at 15, and the west end bottoms out at 20, 21. And so it's a very narrow channel from where there was a river from here to under 81. See, there's the weeds. So the weeds just started. I just hit the outer edge of them, so I'm good. I don't feel like going all the way up in them. You could, I just don't feel like it. 15 foot of water. Bing, bang, boom. And now in here in this little shallower water, I'll start out with a swim bait presentation, which I haven't used yet. I started deeper on the first drift and started right in with the blade. So now I'm going to start chucking a swim bait, and I'm going to go with something dark because it's still dark out. All right. If anything happens, I'll let you know. You'll be the first to know. Something with teeth just loaded up the rod tip like this, and I come up on him. I just said the words to myself. I felt that little tick, and I go, there he is. And I started to come back on him like this, and I felt it come out. He took my tail. Sons of beep, beep, beep. All right, well, 15 foot of water. This new, there's probably 5 or 6 casts into this new drift. So we'll see. Promising. All right, that concludes drift number 2. So now, 2 things have happened. I had the tail got bit off, and I had another head shake. I thought he was there, and he wasn't. So I'm gonna make another drift. This wind has now dramatically picked up. Like, it was mild first thing, no bag, 0.4, 0.5, just picture perfect. Now no bag, it's double that. It's 0.9, to 1.0. I like to drift right around 0.5. That's where my speed control is. If you say, anything up to, 0.75, 0.8 is pretty manageable, whether you're jigging or throwing swim baits. But if it gets much faster than that, I can't keep up with the swim bait. It's moving faster than I want it to. I don't have the control I like, so I have to slow the boat down. Which for me means 2 tandem. A day like today is going to be 2 tandem 48-inch cloth Bass Pro Shops drift bags. So, all right, I'm going back up, and I'm going to keep moving my way. I keep scissoring my way east. With a west wind, it's pushing me that way. So, all right, we'll see what happens. All right, that concludes drift number 3. This wind that they're calling for. This big wind is here. I don't know if it's going to lay back down, but it's howling right now. It's out of the west southwest, but it picked up to 20, and it's not even 9 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning. So I'm going to head back towards the river, and I don't know. I'll see what I see when I get there. I still have the rods out. I didn't put them in the locker, which for me means there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. There's a chance. Yeah, let's see here. You can tell already. That's what it turned into instantly. Everything's white. But there's bait here and there's fish. I couldn't get them to go. I did 3 drifts. I made 3 drifts through. Pretty good picture all morning. Sorry. I'll make this quick. I don't want anybody to get nauseous while they're sitting at work watching this. I couldn't get them to go. So, you know, if this is this big cold front arriving, which it sure acts like it, you know, that could have them off right here for right now. I didn't go looking around. I stayed in one area and kept drifting through it, searching. Like I say, I found them. They just didn't want to bite for me. So, all right, I'm heading in. Most likely, probably. I'm not sure yet. All right, see you guys in a few. I did make one last stop. The maybe turned into a definite. Nice little guy. I like to see that here on Oneida, especially on Oneida. We don't have the, let's say, Parsons lure. Parsons lures, that's a green goby color with a gold flake, and that's a bee hammer head. So I did stop and make a couple casts here on this little rock pile. And this wind's crazy. You can hear it. It's howling, and it's supposed to get worse. All right. What is up, everybody? I'm going to make this quick because this wind is howling. I'm sure the audio is not going to be very good. Boy, did she really, really pick up. I can only imagine what it looks like on the east end this morning. So, I did make one more quick stop. My trolling motor was having all it could do to hold me on spot lock in the headwind. It's definitely gusting well over 20. She got after it, I'm going to tell you. I bet you Lake Ontario is rocking and rolling. I don't think that Captain Todd Shelter and I are going trolling for brown trout tomorrow. Although I don't think I'm going to let them off the hook. I think I'm going to make them go. We'll figure out someplace to go. There's got to be someplace you can get out of the wind in central New York. So, it's Friday. We went trick-or-treating with friends of ours and their young twins, their 5-year-old twins, and it was so enjoyable. Thank you, Alex and Kurt, for letting us be a part, of it and see the kids. And it brings back the memories of when your own kids were that age. And our kids are all grown up now, and the little ones were fun to watch last night. We really enjoyed it. It was a fun Halloween. It's amazing how your definition of fun changes over the years. If you'd have told me some years of my life that, hey, you had to hang out with 5-year-old twins for Halloween, I'd be like, things change, perspectives change. Everything needs to stay in perspective. I had a phone call last night that put a lot of things in perspective. Well, I guess the biggest perspective that I take away from all of it is the perspective to be here as much as we possibly can, day in and day out, and to be present in things that are real and meaningful to us, and not get caught up in some of the noise, the superficiality of things, and to appreciate those around you, blood or not. That means something to you, cherish those people, let them know, take time to be with them, understand that all of us are on a clock, and not to be morbid, but and none of us know when that so it's really a double-edged sword. You're on a clock and you don't know what it says. you don't know You don't know how much time is on it. And therein lies the beauty of that statement. You don't know how much time's left on it, so you live every day like it's your best day, you know, and you want it to be successful and meaningful and wonderful, and you want to laugh and cry and be accountable and be present as much as possible. And it's a lofty aspiration, and I'm sure we all fall short every day. But the aspiration to continue trying is really, I guess, where it all lies. Whether that's fishing, life, relationships, anything. Sounded like there was just a dump truck behind me. So, all right, I'm heading home. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Friday. It's the 1st of November. November is my favorite month. November and May are my two favorite months. I woke up this morning, my neck started to swell up. I can feel myself walking around like this. I think I'm going into pre-rut. So, watch out. Might be hunting season after all. I might even buy my hunting license. We'll see. We shall see. Here's another thing. I can't believe there was a time in my life where I would have been ashamed of myself had I said to you, I didn't even buy my hunting license yet. Usually I bought it at the state fair every year in the DEC building and got you applied for your party permits right there and did the whole thing. It was a yearly tradition. Grandpa and I did it for years when I was younger. We'd go there and get it. Such is life. It's ever changing. I love you guys. I appreciate you joining me every day. If you like it, I'd appreciate your help too. You know, I want to hit 5,000. You can't get to any number above 5,000 until we hit 5,000 first. I'd like to get to 5,000. If you like hanging out with me in the morning, help me spread the word. Share if you care. Keep your tip up.